lived in Franco, Spain from 1939, when she was 18 years old, until the early 70s, when she separated from her husband. But very importantly, she spent her formative years under the Republic in the Canary Islands. And as Israel Rolón Barada's magnificent biography, and I hope you all have a chance to read it, it is absolutely superb, his biography of Carmen Laforet. He indicates very clearly and very importantly that Carmen had an important link with the Republic through her literature professor, Consuelo Burrell, who had been educated in Madrid in institutions related to the Institución de Libre Enseñanza. And she brought to Carmen this spirit of open learning and freedom for women to be intellectuals and to be readers and writers. Carmen never would have admitted that she was a feminist. I had many conversations with her about it. She adamantly refused to be called a feminist. And in fact, many of the writers that wrote during Franco's Spain, and even today, many of the writers I meet refuse to admit that they have a feminist agenda, but their works tell another story. Carmen Laforet's first novel, Nada, and her other novels as well, bring together these three concepts that I've been weaving through some of my remarks. The concept of having a strong personality, having the solitude to develop it, and the importance of work. I'm just going to take a few quotes from Israel's work about Carmen's ideas on personalidad that remind us of what some of the earlier feminist writers like Concepción Arenal developed philosophically about that concept. For example, in a letter that Israel has brought to light from 1970, just after she had separated from her husband, she says, "En los 4 meses últimos, y sobre todo los casi 3 meses de soledad de aquí, han sido de aprendizaje, aún no terminado la verdad, en recuperación de la personalidad. Es como si hubiera vivido a otra luz durante 24 años, y con mis círculos mágicos de tiza alrededor, así que estoy aprendiendo." And she feels that after 24 years of marriage and child rearing, she had 5 children. With this separation, she's finally recovering the self that she had given over to others and that she wanted to restore so that she could get back to her writing. She had been away from writing her novels for a number of years. Many of Carmen's novels and novelettes focus, as I have said, on women who achieve their own personality. And Carmen herself, despite her family responsibilities, this concept of work and personality comes back again. Carmen always worked during her entire life. Even when she stopped writing, the residuals from the works that she had written earlier continued to support her until the end of her life. And so in that sense, she was a woman who worked and who had the personality of a worker. She always defined herself to me as a working woman. The message about the importance of women's working for pay is a central theme of Nada, even though the novel takes place during the early Franco years when severe limitations were placed on women who wished to work outside the home. The novel focuses on an orphan girl, and I know that many of you here have read it, who comes to live with relatives and study at the University of Barcelona right after the Civil War. Since she has no financial means except for a small orphan's pension, clearly the importance of attending the university for her is to be able to eventually work and support herself. Among her family members in Barcelona, neither of the two men is involved in respectable careers, while all the women are employed and actually maintain what little economic stability the family enjoys. At the end of the novel, the protagonist goes off to Madrid to work in the company of a father's friend while she completes her university degree. La Foret's third novel, La Mujer Nueva, centers on married women, on a married woman who decides to live apart from her husband for a period of time, which she is able to do because she has a teaching career. And she got her teaching credentials during the Republic. And so this link back to the Republic that Carmen is continuing through this long Franco period. Ana Maria, the thread that Carmen began with Nada, La Mujer Nueva, is picked up by many other writers in the Franco era. And Ana Maria Matute is one of the most important of those, and I know that some of you here have read her novel, Lo Sabel, which was published just 3 years after Carmen Laforet's Nada. And again, we have a strong central female character who forges her own identity. And Matute, Ana Maria Matute, just won the Cervantes Prize. I hope you're all aware of that. Here we have the King Don Juan Carlos handing her the prize in the ceremony. And in her speech, the speech that she gave when she received the award, she mentioned specifically the importance that Carmen Laforet had to her when she began her career. Animada, this is from the speech she just gave a couple of weeks ago. Animada por el éxito de aquellos primeros pasos, the publication of her first novel, y enterada de la existencia del premio Nadal que había ganado otra mujer joven, Carmen Laforet, aunque ella era algo mayor que yo, envié mi segunda novela, Lo Sabel, escrita a los 19, con la esperanza de obtenerlo yo también. So you can see that there was kind of an underground feminism through these various techniques, especially the strong female protagonist in the novel throughout the period. Carmen Martín Gaite, who we saw a few minutes ago with her book, Los Usos Amorosos de la Posguerra, also a very, very important mentee, indirectly, of Carmen Laforet, whom she mentions on a number of occasions, brings to the fore one of the most important inventions of Carmen Laforet's novelistic work. In a book that I hope you have a chance to read sometime, Carmen Martín Gaite calls the kind of character that Carmen Laforet invented La Chica Rara, La Chica Rara, the odd girl. The odd girl is a female protagonist who does not fit the stereotype of a woman focused on getting married and having a home and family. Andrea of Carmen Laforet's Nada is one of Carmen Martín Gaite's prime examples. Andrea is the exact opposite of the female protagonist of the novela Rosa that I was telling you about. Martín Gaite details Carmen Laforet's subversion of all the major tenets of the typical romance novel. The woman who feels complete when she secures the strong, handsome, faithful man. The idealized romantic encounters between the woman and the man, and the happy ending in marriage after trials and tribulations. The men in Nada are anything but ideal, as we mentioned, and Andrea's potential couplings with one or another wealthy, if not strong, handsome, and faithful man are frustrated.